This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Sporting a Sweep the Rack bowling jersey tonight, Mike.
Looks good.
Yeah, this thing, it fits good too. It's a good quality. I don't ever get to bowl, so I have to wear it here for the show, you know. So what's going on with you, man?
I get to bowl. I still bowl.
You do.
Some people unbelievably tune into this podcast waiting to hear about my bowling adventures, which is ridiculously unbelievable to me, honestly. But did bowl last Monday. Nico, what's good? Asking if I'm healed up, asking if I bowled on Monday, if I made it to league. The answer to the first question, am I healed up, is no. But the answer to the second question, did I make it to league on Monday, is yes. Because I really didn't have much choice. I didn't have a sub. And yeah, I felt like I was probably at 70 to 80%. So I felt okay. I was just gonna have to be ginger and not go full throttle. And I was also what threw another wrench into the mix is that I was using a brand new pair of bowling shoes for the first time. Which can I say? I just ordered whatever pair. I just told you the pro shop gotta give me whatever the newest pair is. The newest pair of Dexters, I don't even know what they're called. They're the 9s with the clicky thing for the laces. Okay. They might be the ugliest bowling shoes I've ever worn in my life. They have like feathers on the side of them. There's like feathers on the side of these shoes. Terrible, terrible design. Nonetheless, my old bowling shoes fell apart. Had to get new shoes. So that was another thing I was dealing with. What did I shoot? I shot like 230 the first game with several shots that should have been strikes. I felt like the first game might have been the best game I bowled, honestly. And I shot 230. I opened once. I missed a 4-pin. I hooked by a 4-pin, and I opened. So that was one critical error in that game. I know. Could you imagine, son? Can you imagine how I feel about that? Missing a single pin spare on house.
Yo, I can give you some. I can cut you some. I could cut you a break missing spares on a sports shot. Dude, you miss spares in a house pattern, you shouldn't you should probably retire, honestly.
Oh my God. And you know what? It's just total lack of concentration because I just grab the ball and run up and just throw it wherever because I'm like, I could throw it wherever. And I miss it. And you're right. It's silly. It's silly.
Unacceptable, Mike.
So unacceptable. So unacceptable. So 230 the first game. Second game, start out with a string, keep string going. I get front 9. I get front 10. I throw it terribly on the 11th one.
Yeah, you went Brooklyn.
I cross over. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I cross over.
Debacle.
It might have been my worst shot of the night, quite frankly. Crossover, strike, front 11. Throw the last one mediocre at best.
I'll give it to you.
And I go flat 10. I teased it on Twitter. I cut the clip down.
Yeah, I have it right here.
And let me clarify here. I didn't ask anybody to tape this shot, okay? People did it on their own and sent it to me. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You were so proud of this shot, dude. You were sending me videos.
Listen, everything that Rob says in this segment is disingenuous nonsense.
Dude, you sent me 5 videos of this shot. You were so happy to put it on Twitter.
He's trolling me. He's trolling me. No, somebody recorded all 3 shots in the 10th and sent them to me.
For somebody,
I didn't know which one was which. I didn't want to go through them. I sent them all to you. I figured let him go through them.
For somebody,
one of them was the cut up one too.
For somebody who nonstop talks about how fraudulent 300s mean nothing, you're really proud of this.
I mean, listen, I've done this podcast for 5 years now, And that whole time I've been bowling a sport league,
All right,
I've
let's
never
try
gone
it.
front 11. I've never gone front 11. This is my third week bowling on house in quite a while, front 11. Terrible.
Oh man,
Did you
everybody
hear the
was.
crowd? Did you hear the crowd reaction? And I walked back and I'm like, guys, I didn't even deserve it. I crossed over on the last one. Yeah, terrible.
All right, there it is, Mike. I showed it twice.
So 299 game 2, and then like 2-0 something game 3 with a 7-10 in the 10th. So yeah, I mean 730, I think, something like that. And it's insignificant. It's insignificant. You know, like I said, I felt like I threw it better the first game than I did the second game. But
Hey,
you know, you were questioning would I make a run at any honor scores this summer. So there's one. I didn't.
Okay. All right, let's put it on the record here. Let's put this on the record. I don't consider 299 an honor score. I don't care what anybody tells me. I don't care if the USBC will send you a patch or they used to send you a ring, whatever it is. I don't consider that an honor score. It's 300, 800.
Used to get a ring.
Used to get a ring for 299.
Crazy.
298, they used to send you a ring too, I believe.
Crazy. You used to get a plaque for 290, 11 in a row.
Oh, yeah. I think I have to deep down. I got to dig down in my closet to see if I have any 299 rings.
Nico asking, does the league have side pots? Yes, they do, but I did not get in because of my knee. It was like 70%.
How much is the pot to go in?
I ain't throwing money away. They're actually pretty expensive. Like they run all kinds of stuff: brackets, scratch brackets, handicap brackets.
How much is the high game pot?
High game pots. I don't know, $20.
Could $20, Mike?
But again, like I didn't even know if I was going to be able to bowl when we started practice. So I was like, all right, you know, the fact that I can stand up and actually get the ball down the lane was a win. So I was like, all right, who knows how I'm going to bowl? Again, I think it's a reflection of how easy they are. You know, that you can go out and not even throw it anywhere near what I'm capable of, and still bowl really good. You know, but it's fun to strike a lot. I'm not going to lie. Nico, I didn't say I never get in the side action. Hold your horses there, bro. Every other week I bowled, I was in the side action. Okay. I didn't get in this week because my knee was bothering me.
And usually isn't that what happens? The 1 week you don't go in is the week you would have won.
Yeah. Well, if I had to give you an over-under for my series before I threw a shot in practice, I probably would have said 590. And then when practice was done, I probably would have lowered that and said 580 because I just couldn't get warm. I had no shoes on. I was stiff. I'm like, oh, this is a disaster.
Do you know what's wrong with your knee?
I come out and I just start striking. I'm like, all right.
Do you know what's wrong with your knee?
No, I didn't get it checked out. I mean,
are you going to?
No. I feel like it's going to heal on its own. It's already feeling better than it was. I honestly though, I think bowling Monday night made it worse. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday. Sorry, I had a major landscaping project I was tackling at my house, trimming trees in the front of my yard. So I had to do that. You know. So yeah, after Wednesday, it wasn't feeling real great.
Man, you always landscaping.
Oh man, you don't even understand.
Yo, so okay,
you have no idea.
Look,
you
need to take
wouldn't
off.
Even last a day over here. So
I hire someone to do my landscaping.
Yeah, you wouldn't even last a day over here.
Let me tell you something. So you got to take some time off. You need to take some time off. It's never going to heal. Take the month off. Be done with it, and then come back.
I can't take the month off. I got
take a few weeks.
Party. I can't take a few weeks off. I got a birthday party coming up here next Saturday for about 50-some people. I got to get the house in order, bro. I got power washing to do. I got other things I got to take care of.
People asking about how my arm is. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Arm is great.
We're like the walking wounded over here.
I know. We're like, yo,
my knee's no good. Your arm's bad.
This is 40.
How's your arm?
Arm is 100%. Honestly, I just don't feel like bowling at this point. That's just on me.
Okay.
I haven't really been motivated to bowl. I hopefully could get the Bowlero to practice this weekend, and then I could start kind of slowly getting back into it because I have some tournaments this winter I want to bowl. So arm is good, 100%. I actually did some bicep curls in the gym this week, so
Cool.
felt good. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just happy to. I'm not really hurting on that end. The back, on the other hand, that's a whole nother story, but that's never going away. So, got the new haircut. All my friends, they got the same haircut too. We're doing Jaeger bombs. All right, Mike.
Update on Mr. X and the
Mr. Rex,
scandal.
the sandbagging
Mr. X and the sandbagging scandal.
Scandal.
I think someone said that the players on his team were going to be re-rated.
Oh, there.
and that standings would be adjusted as such.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, that's the latest that I heard. I guess that's pretty much the end of it. So
how's he feeling about that?
Has he been as well? I don't know. I'm not out there interviewing people to see how they feel about it.
No, but you got to walk over there casually and start conversation.
We weren't bowling anywhere near each other this week. Not even like by walk, just walking by. But I did ask the complainant what the situation was, and that's who told me that there's going to be a re-rate situation going on. Also, an update on the Bowlero, Big Mike Band from Bowlero situation, real quick. So I never had success in reaching out to the manager of Hazlitt, where supposedly I'm banned, but supposedly it's just the manager who prefers I don't bowl there. But you know what? It might all be a moot point, because the league is coming back. The sport league is coming back, and it's moving bowling centers. It's moving bowling centers. It's going to the Bowlero center that I'm bowling at now. So should be good to go.
Nice.
So yeah, there's that too. And I guess the news wrapped in that is Sport League is back. Doubles League. Doubles League, supposedly there's going to be 15 plus teams that want to bowl on sport on a weekly basis. My plan is to roster 3 people on a 2-person doubles team and just arrange a schedule, basically. Not a building. When I say that that whenever the other person bowls, they're putting into the envelope as well. So there's 3 people putting into the envelope for a doubles league. And this way you're like rostering 3 people, and not everybody has to show up every week. If people need a week off, it's really easy. You just say, hey, here's who's bowling this week. So yeah, I guess that's a positive. That's good. I don't know if I'm going to drop my pursuit of the non-committal sport pot thing that I was doing or not. I haven't decided yet. I got to think about that a little bit, because I am going to bowl the doubles league. But I thought, well, if I could do the sport pot non-committal thing on another night at a different center, then there'd be 2 opportunities that would work to bowl. And I would, especially if it's a Thursday or Friday night, I definitely wouldn't mind that. Or even a Sunday morning, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind that either. But yeah, so I don't know. I got to think a little bit about that. But that's kind of overview of where I'm at. I plan to bowl again on this Monday, hoping that the knee feels a little bit better. I'm probably going to throw it the same way. All I did was just try and just nothing up the lane and just keep it simple. Probably going to throw it the same way, actually, because it worked really well. And that's it. Kind of wraps up where I'm at with the bowling at this moment.
Nice. Well, hopefully you can heal up that knee and actually start feeling like you could throw the ball decent.
I would say like late August into September, I can probably take a break and relax right before the winter season starts. I could probably take 2-3 weeks to just ease up. Not do so much, work and labor around the crib. Things will be done by then. So yeah, hopefully that makes a difference. But if not, I will go get it checked out. I definitely will go get it checked out. So
okay,
Rob, one thing I'd like to follow up on from last week. We talked a lot about junior gold last week, and one of the things that we talked about in that conversation was the college coaches going on to social media and talking about how the attitudes or reactions of the kids and or parents could dictate or influence a kid standing on their recruiting list. Yes?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. So interestingly, right? Interesting. I mean, what the point the coaches were making was, if it's negative, if the parents are negative, the kids negative, etc., that could negatively affect them. Interestingly, this week now, Junior Gold's over, so everybody's headed home. Everybody's going back to where they're from, and I have seen a flood of posts this week on the Junior Gold community page from parents who are posting something positive. Posting something, I mean, over the top positive, over the top positivity. And I think to myself, do you think it's possible that so many people are posting things of that nature because they think the opposite might be true?
Oh, that if they post an over the top post, then the college coaches will look at their.
If they're identified as, oh, I remember that parent, they were really positive. They thanked everyone and they talked about the good sportsmanship and how their kid had a great experience, even though they averaged 162. But you know what? They were so positive. I'm going to give them a roster spot on my team. Do you think that could possibly be what's going on here? Like the reverse psychology, try and get my kid a roster spot on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't maybe they don't think it won't hurt me. Like if maybe I post something, right? Like what's the harm in doing a post like that, I guess.
Mark Masora in the chat. Mark, what's up? I don't recognize your name. If you're a first timer, welcome to Sweep the Rack. He says we have a great Sports Shot Summer League in Dundon, Florida. 18 4-man teams. Wow, that is pretty good.
Really good.
I think it would be miserable to bowl a 4-man team format in a sport league because it probably takes you 3 hours to bowl your 3 games. But love the fact that you got 18 4-man teams. Here's my question, Mark, or to anybody in the chat. Here's the question that I want to throw out in response to this. And Rob, if you'd like to answer it, go right ahead. Why is it in bowling we have these situations where you'll have this kind of turnout for a sport league during the summer, but then as soon as September rolls around, those same 80 guys that are bowling in this league are nowhere to be found and don't want to bowl in a sport league?
I can take a guess.
Why do you think that is? Hit me in the chat and let me know.
I can take a guess.
What do you think?
It's a bigger bowling a winter league is a bigger commitment. It's a 36-week commitment. I've been on record on this show before saying that, and we've talked about it, that the winter leagues should go to like splits, like August to Christmas, and then after New Year split to maybe May, like 2 splits and make it 2 separate leagues. But look, the bowling alleys want a 36-week league. They want a commitment because it puts people in their bowling centers for 36 weeks. So they of course want that. As a bowler, though, I don't want that. I hate commitment for winter leagues. I'm thinking about joining a winter league here, and it makes me even like I don't want to join a winter league because of the commitment. I don't.
Literally had a conversation with the person one of the people I'm gonna bowl this doubles league with, and quote used the following phrase from me: I do not want to bowl all 36 weeks. I cannot bowl all 36 weeks. It's not something that I want to do. It's not something that I can do. And yes, I agree with you. So is that a lot of people in the chat are saying, it's the length of time. They're agreeing with you, Rob. I like what your brother had to say, Jeff. They'll be miserable for 12 weeks, but they won't hate their life for 36. I guess, I guess if the amount of time you have to be engaged in it makes a difference, I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But
it's just, in general, winter leagues stink with the commitment. It's just the weeks. It's just, man, I remember when I bowled the league 2 years ago in Mesa, and I by the 10 weeks left into the season, I was literally counting the weeks off, like tallying them off on my wall. It was just not that I didn't have fun when I was there, because I did. I liked joining the league. I enjoyed the people I bowled with, great guys. But in general, though, driving there and putting my head through the table for 3 games on a a beat up carry down house shot with a 5-man team was really something that I will never do again.
No doubt.
So
all right, Rob. Do we
let's
want to
talk-
get into? Do we
let's
want to
talk
get
PBA
into?
50. Okay,
Let's,
so
I guess, right?
yeah, let's.
We really it's a slow time of the year for bowling, but the PBA 50 is going on.
It is
So,
the
do
World
you want
Series.
to talk bowling, or do you want to talk news of the PBA 50?
I want to talk news first because
Okay.
we'll get into the results of some of the PBA 50 events right now for the World Series that's going on. But okay, so this is a situation where there was a lot going on this morning. Okay, I was trying to work and I had all this text messages we had coming in, social media, right, hitting us up, people messaging us. Did you hear what happened last night? Did you hear what happened? So before you jump to conclusions, you want to try to get as many facts from what happened for as many reliable sources as you can, right? Like, so one thing that I've learned from doing this show is you don't really want to jump to conclusions. You don't know what happened, especially something kind of with this nature. So after talking to some people, getting some messages, what I've come to learn is that, okay, Pete Weber was disqualified during the event last night at the World Series of Bowling. It was game 4, I believe, around that time, where he was originally acting like more confrontational than usual to the people around him.
I think it's important to add here, Rob, that the information you're giving now, we'll say, is from sources close to the situation.
Yes, people that were there.
Okay,
that's all I'm going to say is people that were there. And he was being very confrontational. He was essentially, I guess, getting annoyed where people were giving him like 3 to 4 lane courtesy. Every non-strike was it was a production. He was just really acting out. So I guess some people complained, is from what I understand, and the tournament director came over to Pete and there was a lot of words being said. I don't know exactly what was said, but I think Pete was acting out with the tournament director. They were kind of getting into an argument. And then I think Pete left the bowling area to go into the restroom, the bathroom, whatever it was, right? And I don't really know the specifics, and I think this is where the story gets a little bit cloudy. But he was essentially, from my understanding, he was caught having an alcoholic drink. However it was, I'm not too sure if it was, maybe at the bar, if it was out of a flask. I've heard different stories, shots, whatever it is. And I guess this is obviously during competition. You can't do that in the PBA. So he got disqualified. And it was a very tough situation, right? Like, where Pete obviously has some stuff going on right now. So I saw a post from him today on social media, taking responsibility for his actions, and just being, owning the situation, understanding that he needs to kind of be away right now and probably take care of some things. And yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. Let me go on the record to say that it's sad for me to see someone who's a larger than life legend in the sport, right? I'd say probably top 5 of all time, right? Has won in every decade since the 70s. And it's really sad to see him really kind of hit rock bottom at this point. He obviously has an issue that he needs to deal with. He needs to take care of it. He needs to try to figure out a way out of it, whatever that is. Family, close friends. But it's just tough to see. Like I really wish him the best. Honestly, I really wish that he gets right. He gets his life together, and he comes back and can start being Pete and start being Pete bowling at that highest level, right? Because right now he's not, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, he's got some demons. I think Lucas in the chat,
What's up, Lucas?
Said it. Yeah, pretty much what I'm trying to say is I think he's deep down. Pete is a good guy, but he battles a lot of demons. Sometimes the demons win. It sounds like another one of those times. It's sad to see. 100%. So yeah, I don't know, Mike, if you have any thoughts here, but that's pretty much what the situation was, and it's kind of where I'm at right now with it.
Yeah, I have a couple thoughts. I mean, I expressed basically the same thing you just said in a text between us and some other people earlier today. That as somebody who looks at not only this guy but other guys in the bowling world too as like icons almost. It's sad. It's sad to like become a full adult, see things go this way, and like you realize that somebody who you looked up to so much has problems just like the average Joes that you've been around your entire life, right? So there's definitely that side of it. I also want to. I have two questions I think I want to ask, and you see athletes retire all the time, right? And you see athletes struggle with retirement all the time. I mean, there's some real tragic is the word I'll use. There's some real tragic stories out there regarding athletes and their retirements and how things have gone, etc. Not all athletes handle retirement well, and as we all know, Pete recently just stepped away from the game, right? Not too long ago. Yes, he's competing at the senior level, but I think we all know that he's way closer to the end of his career and being, consistently competitive at the highest level of whatever he's bowling than he is to still being at that highest competitive level of whatever he's bowling. Is that fair to say, Rob?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
So if that's true, then if that's fair to say, really what part of what we're watching here is we're watching the end of Pete Weber, the bowler, right? And I'm sure he knows that. Like, I'm sure he's aware of that more than even we are. But my point is, or my question is, could this have to do with a person, an athlete, just struggling with having that part of them retire or not be there anymore? I wanted to use use the word to be separated, but I'm not sure that's the right way to express it. So that's one question that I would ask is the fact that for the first time in his life, seriously, I mean, Pete Weber, like you said, Rob, has been winning since the 70s, right? And like he's always been at the top of whatever
decades
competitive bowling outlet he's in.
Decades.
He has been at the top of it since the 70s,
79.
up until a couple years ago.
His first title, I think, was 79.
So imagine, how hard that has to be to deal with. When you're being detached from that part of you, that's so much a part of your identity. That's so much a part of your identity. Diana in the chat mentioning, I think his identity is so closely related to him as a bowler, he can't separate it. It is him. I think that's a very fair point. And that's one aspect of this that I thought about. My next question would be this, and this is a serious question. Does this guy not have any people around him that really care about him? Because if he had people around him that truly, really are looking out for him, like, wouldn't they try and guide him in the right direction to not go down this road?
I think that's a hard question because there's so much you could do as a family member or a close friend to have some to like try to get them help. But if that person doesn't want to help themselves, then it's really sometimes it's just not possible. I mean, I don't want to get into some deep conversation here, but you see it all the time on the streets, the people living on the streets with drug and alcohol problems. And I'm sure a lot of these people had family and friends that tried to help them. And sometimes you can't get through to somebody. And he has to try to help himself. Right. And I think that's the hard part is I hope this incident, yeah, because Mike, from my understanding, he was bowling really well too. I think he was like plus 180 or something. For him to get disqualified from the World Series, I hope this incident, he could use it as a positive light for him and understand like, wow, like that's never happened to me before, right? At least from my knowledge in his career, where he got disqualified for doing something like that during a tournament. And maybe he I
think it has happened before.
It has happened. I don't know.
He's been suspended for a whole period of time.
But during a tournament, like actually during a tournament?
I mean, I'd have to go back and reread the article, but there's this article from basically like the 80s, I believe.
Tony says it has happened.
I caught online, and I believe it mentioned that, yes, at one point
not recently.
In the 80s, he was suspended in the middle of an event.
Okay, but not recently.
Longer. No.
But not recently. Not in the last, 10 years.
Well, yes, it did. It happened at the Masters, at the Senior Masters.
But that was because
he said something to the guy's wife.
Yeah, but this is different, right? That's Pete being Pete. Okay, this is him
I don't know how different it is, to be honest with you.
Well, for me, this is more of a substance issue than it is him mouthing off to a player's wife. Okay. What I'm trying to say here is I'm hoping he uses this as a like a rock bottom type situation where it's like, this has really never happened to me before when it comes to being whatever it was, intoxicated or getting the DQ'd in the middle of a tournament. And I need to change my life, and I need people around me that are going to help me do that, and not people that are going to enable me to do that. Because Mike, it is important, right? And look, I'm not an expert in this matter by any means, but you're right. You do need people around you that are going to support you, help you, not enable you. Okay. So I hope he could do that. I hope he can get the help that he needs. I hope there's family and people around him that could enable him to clean up and, still compete at a PBA 50 level, right? Which he still could. I think he still could. I still think he could win tournaments if he has his head on straight and he's sober, right? And I just think he needs to get that figured out, take time off, step away, do what you need to do, get right, and then come back and get on and win, right? And what a redemption story that would be, right? For bowling, right? For him to clean up, come back, and win, right? I think it would be a very, very inspirational story for a lot of people, and I would be one of those people. But he right now has to listen to the people around him, hopefully try to get him some help, step away, and hopefully we could talk about him in a more positive light next time we bring him up on the show.
Yeah, no question. Absolutely. All right, so can we talk some World Series of 50 bowling?
We could. So they just I'm not sure if it was yesterday they wrapped up the Ballard Classic, but the top 5 is set for the PBA 50 Ballard, which was the first tournament of the World Series that's going on right now in Jackson, Michigan. Kind of my own stopping ground, but definitely in the area that I used to be around. Top 5 as we know it right now. Look at this. Bo Gergen, previous guest 2 weeks ago, making the show, has to bowl.
Sweep the rack touch. That sweep the rack sprinkle.
Bowling also guest Jason Couch.
I was going to say Barnes won this event tonight.
He did win the event. Okay, I didn't know the stepladder was tonight because the results aren't on the website. I thought they were bowling right now, the Monticelli, but I'm all over the place. Okay, so Barnes won. Who did he beat? Who did Barnes beat? Does anybody know? I've been too involved with other things today than to understand what happened tonight. But So they're bowling the Monticelli right now, and we'll figure out what's going on there. But Barnes is bowling good. Barnes is having himself a week.
No shocker there.
He beat Tony Oliva. Okay.
No shocker there.
Yeah. So Barnes is having himself a tournament. I mean, Barnes can still compete with the young kids, Mike.
Yeah.
He does. So it's no surprise. I'm surprised I haven't seen John Janowitz's name yet.
He just won a major last week.
I'm talking about the World Series because there's nobody hotter right now in the PBA 50.
Yeah.
Guy is incredible. I think it was like an 80-something% win rate or something crazy like that when he bowls. So yeah, we'll keep everybody posted next week on what happens at the PBA 50. They still have they still have the Petraglia Open and then the World Championships.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to be able to catch some of your favorite older bowlers. You know, it's great to be able to catch some of the greats of the game. Check that out if you get a chance.
So Nico in the chat, right, and then the Players Championship, Liz Johnson made the step ladder. Stay tuned for my worst of the week.
And she won a PBA 50 regional last week. But I mean, honestly, like
she's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's just goat doing goat things.
She's the GOAT. I mean,
do goats eat grass? Am I supposed to be impressed that the goat ate the grass? That's what goats do. Like Liz Johnson goes and wins men's bowling tournaments on the reg, okay, at the professional level. So goat doing goat things. Not shocked by that at all.
Yeah, stay tuned for my worst of the week because I had a great comment that I saw on Chris Barnes' official page in regards to Liz Johnson. So stay tuned for that.
I feel like, are we ready to go?
For worst of the week?
Yeah.
We're ready to wrap up already? There was something else, though, I wanted to talk about, but God, what was it?
You want to do a couple emails? I can do a couple emails.
Yeah, do a couple emails. Let's do some emails.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, because we promised the people last week we were going to do some emails.
Let's see. So I'm not going to use this as worst of the week, but we got a funny worst of the week email from Paul St. Laurent. And he says, check this out. One of my junior bowlers is raising money for a big junior tournament in Vegas at the end of the year. This guy asked him if he does tattoo work for money. He's not even 18. You can't make this stuff up. And the kid had posted, if anyone needs any work done, message me trying to get money for Vegas in December. And the guy comes on and says, do you do tattoo work? Do you do tattoo work? Oh, my goodness. Jeff asking us anything on the Luci worth mentioning, predictions. Actually, I was going to mention in my final thought because I tried to go on and check the standings because I know they started bowling today, but I couldn't even bring them up. So I'll be honest, I really don't have much to say about it, but I was definitely going to mention it in my final thoughts there, Jeff, because yes, that is going on, and obviously that'll be on Bowl TV as well.
Mike,
right?
I kind of want to read the email of the Bowlero guy with the bottled water.
All right, hold on. I want to read this one.
Wait, so
I remember this one. I wanted to give these people a shout out.
Jeff purchased. Wait, I'm confused. Are you related to Nate? Like, is because you got named in the picture, but your name is Jeff, so I'm curious.
It's cool. Welcome. Don't recognize the name from the chat very much, but welcome, no doubt. If you are, who's Nate bowling with? We'd like to know who Nate's bowling with. We could check it out. Okay, practice was today. Okay, yeah, I knew that the event got underway today.
Yeah, the beast.
They also have like a beauty versus the beauties versus the beast, right?
Yeah. Look at Jeff is Nate's dad. Look at that.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. Welcome, no doubt.
Dude, I love watching Nate do that backwards bowling, man. That's pretty cool.
Love the Luci, love the competition. As I said last week, and I knew that the event started today. I believe that they have, or in the past anyway, they've had some sort of pre-event thing on the practice day where that night there's 5 guys against 5 girls and they bowl.
Like, how's that partner?
Oh, Hottest female bowler in the world. No,
How's that, partner?
hottest female bowler in the world. Which must be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read another email. Let's see. We got an email from Next Gen Bowling. Okay, Next Gen Bowling. You guys should all go and check them out. They contacted us and said they're from Alaska. Okay, and it's a collaborative YouTube channel called Next Gen Bowling. They definitely listen to Sweep the Rack. A couple of friends got together and created this YouTube channel to document their journey and experiences as they move through the youth bowling community. Their focus is on highlighting youth bowlers of their community in the great state of Alaska. And obviously, since they're isolated from the rest of the continental U.S., many of our schools and sports teams do not have the opportunities to be featured in that way. Bowling's no different. And I love this line from the email. In a sport dominated by Mamma Mias and Patch Pirates, it's important to me and my friends that we are separated and acknowledged. We also hope the channel would connect us with coaches, reps, and other connections that will carry us to opportunities in the future. So shout to these guys doing their thing on YouTube, Next Gen Bowling. You guys check that out. They're from Alaska. I wrote them back and I mentioned Sean Rash and how, I mean, Rob, when we were junior bowlers, like we had heard of Sean Rash. He was featured in the same magazine you were, right? He was one of the future stars of tomorrow in Bowling This Month. And I can't overstate what a big deal that was back in the day. So like you were in that magazine, Rory Kalankman was in that magazine. Sean Rash is one of the early ones in that magazine. I remember reading about him. And then I went to Junior Gold in '98 and saw him for the first time. And I was like, my goodness. And like, he was a few years younger than us then. I think we were 18. He was like 14 or 15, something like that. And yeah, I was just like, wow, this kid is the real deal from Alaska. So it was interesting to hear that. And I wrote her back, kind of told her that story just to give them a little inspiration of being from Alaska. Do you have that email about the water pulled up?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got an email from our guy Jake. Emailed us about a Bowlero story that he had. Let's see if I could figure this real quick. He bowled a regional qualifier a couple weeks ago at a Bowlero, and I had my little metal water canteen, which caused all kinds of drama. So I bought a bottle of water there at Bowlero and poured it into my canteen because obviously the last thing I want is moisture from the bottle on my hand. Okay. Well, halfway through game 2, an employee came to me and says, I can't have my metal bottle and I need to take it to my truck. I try explaining that I purchased the water from them and was just using it as a cup, but the manager still insisted that I couldn't have it and need to take it to my truck. Well, obviously I can't walk out in the middle of a tournament, so I ask if I can just go set it with my bags at the paddock area. So I do this, and then after I was eliminated, I go to start putting my stuff up, and I notice that my bottle is gone. So I get my stuff packed up and go track down the manager and ask him if he took it. His response was that it needed to be removed. So I got a little mad and demanded to return, in which he said, not until I left. We then exchanged a few words, and I had to walk outside to cool off before I did something stupid. I took a few minutes to gather myself, went back inside, walked behind the counter, and ended up finding my bottle. So I stole it and got it back. Is this what we're dealing with right now?
He didn't steal it. He just retrieved it.
Is that what we're dealing with at Bowlero, across the Bowleros right now across the country, Mike? Like, is this what's going to bring customers back into their centers? And I'll be honest with you, Jake.
You're asking rhetorical questions here. Right?
I am. What I'm saying is Jake handled this well, because if this was me and I was in the middle of bowling a tournament and I had some water drama like this bullshit, they would have probably had to call security or somebody, because the manager and I would have had more than just words. It would have got really heated. I mean, I got kicked out of a Jersey Mike's once. That's a whole nother story we could talk about, but I had nothing to do with bowling. But
as Brooklyn Rob, I feel like you should have just avoided Jersey Mike's.
They got good subs, man. They're pretty good. For franchise shit.
Your opinion of subs is in the garbage can.
So
if you think Jersey Mike's is good,
Mike, I live in a franchise area, right? All over. Like, I don't have the pork rolls and whatever you guys have in Jersey and Philly, man. I'm living in a franchise of America over here. You know, like a lot of us are. So
Rough.
You know, don't beat me up if I think Jersey Mike's has a good sub. But back to Bowlero, okay? Look, is it like, why are they harassing bowlers? This is harassment, Mike. They're harassing this kid for no reason, right? Like,
because they want you spending the money in their center.
I know, but he bought a bottled water, he said, from Bowlero.
I know, and at that point it should end.
I know. Anyway, so that was one of the good emails. I appreciate that email. That's a good one.
No doubt. Any others that you want to highlight here, Rob?
No, I think we're okay. I think those two were pretty good. I do look forward to, there's some bowling on the next few days. Unfortunately, I have to work in the office tomorrow, so I'm not going to get a chance to stream it. But I do believe, looking at the schedule real quick for the Luci, 9 a.m., 8 A squad, 7 games, 3 p.m. B squad. Then Saturday, they bowl 9 a.m., 7 games, 3 p.m., 7 games. They're calling it a C squad and a D squad. Sunday is the semifinals, 5 games, and top 12 teams advance to round robin match play. 12:30 Saturday, 6 games, 3:30 6 games. I'm almost 98% sure this is Eastern Daylight Time, so it's East. And then the step ladder is highest pinfall wins. There's no step ladder. So Sunday is the finals for that. So yeah, good to see some bowling. We'll be all live streamed on Bowl TV. I know Bill's not bowling.
Bill is not bowling. Nico
Shining.
correcting you, saying it's Central Time.
Oh,
So be aware, it's Central Time there in Houston.
sorry, I got mixed up for some reason. I thought they were in Michigan. I was thinking of the women's. I'm sorry, I was thinking of the PBA 50 for a sec. So yes, they're in. No, Nico's wrong, and I like saying that. The times I just talked were all times listed in Eastern. It says it on the website.
Okay.
So if you want to just convert it to your time zone, but the times I read are Eastern.
Okay. All right, Rob, let's do it.
Let's do it.
My worst of the week this week is going to come from the Motive Bowling Facebook group. Matthew Bratch. Congratulations, Matt. I'm awarding you worst of the week. Here's the post. My friends will tell you that I'm not one to overhype a ball before it's released.
Uh-oh.
No, nobody does that in the bowling
Nobody
community.
overhypes it.
No one overhypes a bowling ball in the bowling
Nope.
ball community.
It's
in
not
the bowling
not
community,
possible.
especially before it's released. That never happens.
Never.
But the Pride Liberty is something to watch out for in August. Drilled a 55 by 4.5 by 35 layout and settling in for a 693 3-game set at Lig tonight.
693, Mike. 693. That's a must drill. That's a must have right there. R Fred in the chat. The Patch Pirate flags are out.
Is it possible that instead of 6, he meant to hit 8?
893 would be even more incredible.
Is that possible?
So wait, so we both
Because I'll be
693?
honest, like if you're gonna overhype a ball to me,
693?
you better be shooting 830 or better, and say like, oh, this
93.
ball might be something special.
So
A Pride hybrid option is something to look at for a textbook benchmark ball for the new fall season. Video to come soon.
do we, Mike, does he have a time, the date of this video release?
No.
Okay, someone reach out, please. I need to know.
Probably already out there. You as soon as we log off, you better go check.
I have to know. And Mike, I'm hoping that it's in slow motion, because those are the best type of bowling videos, when you have it in complete full slow motion, and then it goes right through the pins. So anybody out there, get me that time and date of that video release, because It's a must-have in your bag at $6.93. Oh God, what am I going to do with these patch pirates? Okay, Mike. My worst of the week goes to Ron Bodecker. This was on
that sounds like a name that deserves worst of the week. To be honest with you,
It's
Ron
not worse
Bodecker.
It's not worse than Perushat, I'll tell you that. Chris Barnes' official page. Chris Barnes, they were talking about Liz, and there was some chatter about Liz, and his response was, the lane conditions will be tailor-made for Liz. This is before the stepladder. I saw it done when she won her tour title. She only rolled, 278 against Westmont. In Westmont in that one, it was rigged then, and it will be the same. This is one of the best, if not the greatest women bowler of all time, right? You could put her in a very elite status as a bowler, men and women, right?
Most elite status.
You're going to name the top 3 women bowlers of all time. She is going to be on the top 3, and probably, I would say, about 98 to 99% of knowledgeable bowlers of the greatest women of all time, right?
Not to mention, she has the type of game that simplifies things, especially when they're fresh or close to fresh. So, like, yeah, not surprising at all that she would be able to compete. You know, this post is just a reflection of the idiocy that we have at some levels of the bowling community.
Yeah. So for this guy to think that they actually rigged or set up lane conditions for one of the greatest of all time because she bowled 278, it just shows you how literally dumb people can be online. And this is the reason why I love worst of the week. Might get a lot of shit for it every once in a while, but posts like this deserve to be called out. This guy deserves to be called out. And I honorable mention was the guy on our Sweep the Rack group page today talking about how they should ban alcohol sales for people when the PBA is there. That's my second honorable mention.
Yeah, let's get less people to show up.
Yeah, let's make it less fun than it already is. Going to a live bowling event.
Let's wrap it up. All right, yeah, my final thought was going to be watch the Luci. Watch the Luci, keep up with the standings.
And watch that new release bowl video that comes out.
I would especially suggest tuning in on Sunday if you can. I'm likely going to be busy. I'm going to the Phillies game on Sunday with the fam. Go Phils. But yeah, if you can, if you're around on Sunday and you're relaxing, chilling, enjoying your Sunday, definitely turn that on and check that out. You're going to see some great matchups. So you're going to see some matchups between some of the best male and female bowlers in the world, and it's awesome to see. So that's my final thought.
Yeah, my final thought is I want to talk a little bit about some of the new things that I saw the Agent Ong open. There is a patch pirate pot. I don't know if you saw that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for $10, the person who enters that pot, the high person who finishes in the tournament, gets a roto grip staff deal.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
So I thought it was going to be like $10 and the highest. It goes to the highest finisher who's wearing a staff shirt.
No, it's a $10 pot and you get a contract for roto grip.
Okay.
So I believe it'd probably be, I don't know the exact details of the contract, but I'm assuming it's probably like a 1-year contract, which would be pretty good with all the new ball releases they come out. You're probably gonna do really well when it comes to like new bowling balls, honestly, and shirts and bags. And if I will be bowling the Agent Ong Open this year, and I will enter the $10 Patch Pirate pot. And if I win, I will gladly sit here with my Patch Pirate costume on that you guys seen, and I will be sitting here swimming in bowling balls, and Mike won't get anything, as he usually doesn't.
That goes without saying.
But it's a cool.
They all know you're greedy. They all know you're greedy. They all know that when I do get balls, give them away. I give them to the people. I'm like the Robin Hood of the bowling community. I take the blank balls that are given to me and I disperse them out to the people that do not have them. Check my status. Check my record. It even goes deeper than any of you know. So
can you? Gio says make it a $10 raffle so that anyone could win. No, they're not doing that. Could you imagine the guy who averaged 115 and wins a roto staff contract, and this guy's going around bowling 130s with his roto group, telling everybody he's on staff? Yeah, that ain't happening.
That's awesome though. That's a very cool thing. I like that. It's a nice.
Yo, speaking of all staff, right there, baby.
Yo,
all staff. That's it. Back of the shirt. Robert Hamilton. What's good? So check it out. Agent Ong, he's doing some really good things. We'll get Carl on the show in a few weeks, probably sometime in August, to go through some of the new things he's brought in on the show. They got action matches going on. It's in October. It's down here in Arizona, but I wouldn't say starting, but it's becoming a tournament now I think people need to fly in for, honestly. Okay. The money's there. There's going to be a lot of like sweepers, a lot of good stuff. So that's my final thought, Mike.
All right. Hit us up on social media. X is where we usually do our thing. He's at Brooklyn Rob 11. I'm at the 215th. Hit us up through email. Sweep the Rack at Gmail. Send us the email. We finally got around to featuring some emails tonight. We love to feature the emails. Send us more emails.
I forgot something, Mike.
Go ahead.
I did reach out to the PBA and I did reach out to Tom Clark in regards to the PDW situation.
Okay.
And the really only thing he was able to say was that Pete with WD withdrew after tournament director talked to him during the rounds.
Okay.
So it was a pretty just general statement. I was trying to get to see if he can give me some more info, but he was nice enough to respond and give me something on that whole situation. So hopefully we'll see some progress and we'll see Pete make a recovery and get his stuff together and come back. So
next Thursday we'll talk some World Series of Bowling, PBA 50. We'll talk some Luci results. We'll talk whatever else comes up in the bowling community. Until then, we'll talk league review too, obviously. No, you all love the league review. Until then, folks, enjoy your week. Have a good one. We appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. We'll see you next Thursday.
See you guys, everybody. Later.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob.